How's that? Can you guys hear me now? Yeah, I was muted. You guys should be able to hear me now. That's probably better. All right. I think that's probably better. All right. Sorry about that. Am I still muted? I shouldn't be muted. Uh, can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Okay, good. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Sorry about that. I'm over here talking to myself. Trying to set up. We did some messing around with the system again today, doing some fine tuning. I think I've got the format and everything done. Got echo. How about the echo? Is the echo gone? Hopefully the echo is gone now. All right. Loud and clear. So what's up, Stilla Dude? Thank you for being in here. EMR, good morning. Paula, good morning. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. AZ Coins is in the house. William E. Kevin, good to see you. Thanks for being in here. Hey, Steve, looking for silver. Hope you're well. Strider, sorry you're in a sad mood. Hope you get better soon, bud. William E., thank you for being in here. I appreciate you. Good morning, Dislogic. Brown Sugar. Let's see. Who did I miss? AZ Coins. I think I already said hi. I think we're good. All I seen reading your lips is you have 10 kilogram GA. No. No GA today, but I do have some 1962 BU cents that Eric and I are going to be going through. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. I apologize. I've changed the format up a little bit more. I think we're going to have a little less issue when I change back and forth between screens. So it should be, again, I'm going to continue to try and provide a good resource for you guys. Hey, go on, Kevin, what's going on, bud? Thanks for being in here. Steve LaPointe's in the house. Thanks for being in here. I appreciate you guys. All right. So I have Eric in here. So let's go ahead and bring up Eric to this stage. What's going on, bud? How are you?
Very good. And yourself? All right. I got this back to normal.
Okay, good. We were trying to set up
again, or
say again?
Do I have to reshare it?
Yeah, we'll do it in just a second.
Okay.
So we're trying to set up because again, when I change the screen, it changes the setup. So we'll do a little format when we're getting ready to go through the sense. I think I finally got my microscope to show proper color. Hi, Miss Coin Crew. Do I have a stream deck? Are you talking about the various screen setups? I do. But because the way I run it, I have to do some things that are special. So I'm using 2 different programs to stream instead of just one. So I can set it up in a stream deck, but when I change the other format, it messes the format up. So it's trying to balance the two. So I think I figured out how to resolve that. I still will have to shift some things around as I'm going through. Eric Byer, 5 gifted memberships. Thanks, bud, for doing that. I appreciate it. Really, thank you so much for that. All right, let's see who got this today. EMR was gifted a membership. Steve looking for silver. Logic, Rock Solid, and ATS. Hey, Rock Solid, by the way, thank you so much for your feedback the other day. I really do appreciate the honest feedback that you gave me, and I will continue to work on those things. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, bud. All right. So, Eric, do me a favor. Give everybody an update on your grandson.
He is out of the hospital and doing better. Pretty stable.
That's really, really good to hear.
He's a month old and he's been out of the hospital 2 days.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I was so happy when you told me that. So how were they
finally get to meet him?
How were they resolving that? Did they say, did they mention how they were doing that?
He has to have a modified diet, and being as young as he is, they have to actually still see what exact proteins he can't digest. And right now he is too severe to go with the mild treatment. Some people can get away with just like therapeutic doses of vitamin B. Others have to have a feeding tube and a special diet, and then others need a liver transplant. So it can be from one spectrum to the other.
But right now, his health checks out. He's good to go. No major
Yeah, he's
issues.
been on a special diet, and it seems like he's just unable to process a protein called leucine.
Mm-hmm.
So at worst, he'll be a vegetarian pretty much his whole life.
That's not all bad.
Yeah, right.
Uh, what's up, Joyce? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I'm glad they were able to figure that out, and it's amazing that they were able to do that at such an early age. But that's awesome to find out what's going on, and I'm glad he's home and doing well.
Yeah.
How's your boy doing? Hey, pretty calm now.
Oh yeah, that was my daughter's
Oh,
son.
that was your daughter's. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, she's doing great.
Well, good. That's awesome. I can say this: my chat's not showing up. So let me see if I shut my chat down. Chat. Let's see if my chat will show up now. Chat wasn't showing up on my side of the stream. There should be a little chat window that shows up so that people can see some of the stuff that happens online, but see if it finally generates. There we go. Now it's generating. Outstanding. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. I'm trying to do this so that when people are on their phones looking sideways, they can see some of the chat that's popping up because it's too hard to watch chat when you're doing it the other way. So hopefully that works. Hey, Teach, what's going on, bud? Thanks for getting a hold of me. We found out that SkyQuest is going to be coming to San Antonio to check out the um, eclipse that's happening April 8th. So we're going to go, hey, there's SkyQuest. What's going on, bud? Just talking about you. So he's going to be coming in. We're going to get him out to Kerrville, where he's going to be staying to watch that event. And so teacher and I are going to make sure he gets coordinating, gets where he needs to be. So it's going to be fun to hang out with Teach and SkyQuest and maybe freaking awesome. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to get people together. I'm going to try and do something again with the eclipse. Again, I don't really have the right equipment for it. What I may do is reach out to another channel buddy who has some I bet they were, who has some really good equipment, and see if he's going to be in and around the area. So his name is Justin. I'll reach out to him and see if he's going to do something. And if we do, then I'll see if we can't set up a dual stream where he shows what he's got. He's got something like a 23-inch telescope. And this dude's got some amazing, he does astrophotography. He's got some amazing stuff set up. So I'll see if I can't coordinate. I don't know where he's going to be. If he's not going to be in the same area, it might be a little difficult. But we'll see if we can't coordinate something a little bit better than the cluster that I did last time when we were trying to hit golf balls and watch the partial solar. So I'll see if we can't work that out. But that should be a lot of fun. I still think it's really cool. I'm kind of amazed at the fact that within a year of each other, I get to see both types of solar eclipses. And I don't even have to travel. It's really cool. I can see them both from my house. It's absolutely awesome. So very cool. All right. Well, Eric, you want to get started on this? Let's
Sure.
get the screens up. So there's mine. Let's pull up yours. I know I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing when this comes up. I'm going to have to shift this out. I'm going to have to drive down to Toledo. I still have my Mylar glasses from the annular. Yeah, so SkyQuest was saying the same thing. I'm going to adjust this really quickly. And let me see if I can... It's saying I've reached the limit. Why have I reached the limit? It shouldn't be reaching the limit. There's Eric's. Where is... Okay, there we go. So let me edit this one and let me bring that down. Actually, let me bring this over and let me bring... I'm messing with this for just a second, folks. So give me just a sec.
All right.
No, I want those the other way. How do I change those? Let's do this. Let's add camera slot, boonk, and then add camera slot. Now we have these side by side. Should be able to see those. Yours is a little bit smaller, so let me see if I can't make yours a little larger. There we go. It's not the best format. We'll have to play with this a little bit. It's showing your edge, and unfortunately in this particular one I can't see the other. We'll put you over there. See, I wish I could show this on your other side, but that's okay. No worries. We'll put me and you there, and we'll make. Can I make this any bigger? Oh, check that out. I can. Why doesn't it allow me to crop this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know when I went to full window, it still saw you still had the software behind it. So
yeah, there's something I've got to play with this one. I could probably do this on the Streamlabs side, and I apologize, folks, that you guys are having to do this. When you're not watching, but you're just listening, it sounds hilarious. Yeah, this is a cluster. I understand that, but what I'm trying to do is get it to where we can see the two screens. Unfortunately, Eric's screen only shows his full screen. It doesn't show the side areas. So I think we'll just have to leave it like this. Say it is what it is. The screen itself is a mess, and I'm not really concerned about the screen being a mess. I'm more concerned without being able to see this side by side. So let me go ahead and just save this. And let's kind of go through. So Eric, you're going to be playing a little bit of double duty. So Kevin, I'm doing two. I'm doing StreamYard to share, but I'm also remove the chat box. Oh, that's so the chat box has nothing to do with the bearing on the screen itself. It has to do with me sharing this particular screen. This is all the StreamYard stuff. The rest of it that you're seeing is OBS. So I only have a small window in order to show this. It's not the full screen. Now I can share this in a full screen, but the problem is, so if I do it this way, and I bring this down, that I do this. Oh, annoying. So let's say that I do it this way, so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, so this is about as big as I can get it. Now, if I do it to where we just look at Eric's screen and we don't do side by side, we can do that. Because then I just do this. And then we just watch Eric do his thing. And we just see what's going on. So we'll just do that. So Eric, you want to just walk through yours, and then afterwards I'll do mine, and you can kind of just let us know what we're seeing on my end. So we'll just do two separate ones instead of doing them side by side.
Okay. Well, we're looking at a normal 62p cent so far.
So what I really want to do in this particular one is, as we start to find something, really kind of zoom in and point out exactly what it is. And
if we find something.
If we find something. Now we're going to find something. We'll find something.
What I'm looking for here is...
Hey, Rock Solid. Good to see you, bud. Hey, Blistering Barnacles.
On the date, see, this one's got a lot of they've abraded the date away, the one. You can see they polished it. There must have been a heavy die clash there.
Yep.
Then you look around the eye. There, and you look around the T's. Then there's a nice double die on in. And then Liberty. But we are not finding one. And then the key spots here, you look at the U for a pickup point, and the other spot I always look at anytime 1 cent is doubled, almost always FG is doubled, and that's easy to pick up. That little tip when you're looking at these.
So real quick, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said, Ash, is when we find something. So when you're talking about a pickup point, let's elaborate what you mean by pickup point.
Okay, like the date. Scrutinize the date a little bit more than you would scrutinize the chin. Scrutinize the eye a little bit more. There's just areas that show doubling better than other areas. So like the L in Liberty, there's a lot of like doubling like under the L right here or coming up above the L. And we'll go back to the date. There's a lot of doubling. I think there's a class 6, which is thick, would be thickness on the bottom and thickness, all through it. But then there's some that kind of come across the top of the two. So that's where you'd look. And of course, you get the doubled eyelids where you get the little eyelid right here where my little hand is.
The one that I never can find.
And then there's a lot that have doubling like on the T or right here on the T. And then, like I say, there's a real nice class 2 that is like doubled in God We Trust, like over rotated.
Okay, so now we said something else that some people may not understand. When we talk about class 2, we're talking about class 2 double die. What are we referencing?
We are referencing it's rotated hub doubling. I believe it's rotated hub doubling. It put me on the spot now. Let me double check that. It's rotated. So that would be where it is the design, like in 1, you would see it all like shifted to one side. It could even be shifted to the top. But the doubling is that way. Now, class 6, how I was talking about, is everything is thickened. And that is distended hub doubling. So you'll see a real thick 9, real thick letters. On like, here, let me turn back to the verse. When you look at like trust, when you get class 6, you'll start getting like little curves, like it's being pulled or pushed. You'll also get it like on the B, on the edges of Liberty. You'll start seeing a lot of curving and pulling and stuff like that.
Okay, so Paul is saying class 1 is rotated, class 2 is distorted.
Distorted, right. But it's always, when I say distorted, I meant like shifted one direction. So if it's like I was showing you on the reverse, if it's like this, it can be like this. Like here's a good example would be go to Wexler's. He's got some that show up on the top. So if you see it right here, everything would be going like, say, towards the center of the design in the distorted.
So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up and I'm going to show this. This is exactly what he's talking about. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing Wexler's. Oops, let me open that up. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing Wexler's. And right here, what you're talking about, you can see this on the side, this is where you can see that doubling. So this is what he's referencing when he's talking about that. You can see it under the eye and in. You can see that there. You can see that little area right here under in. You can see where it comes down, it comes over. And then when you're looking at In God Your Trust, you can see how the bottoms of these letters are distorted. They kind of pull in. You can see the inside of the G. You can see the bottom there. You can see that. You can see the inside of the O. And then right here, you can see, we often talk about the little lips that pucker on the edge of the corner there. You can see it come across the edge of the D. And then again, depending upon the different types of coins, but you see it's basically the same. They can be either above or inside the letter, below the letter. depending upon where they come. That's a terrible picture. And again, here's, uh, make sure we're still on the same one. Again, here's another one where you can see this is a really, really nice one,
Yeah,
but you can
that one's
see it.
pulling out to the ledge
Yep.
or to
So
the
you can
edge.
just see that it's just, it really distorts the letters. So this is what they're talking about when they're talking about class 2. Didn't mean to put you on the spot, bud. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I just my nomenclature isn't, I'm like use the hood slang when I start talking about stuff usually.
No, it's all good. And there's if you go to Wexler's, as he was talking about, you can go to you can go to the Wexler site, and on the Wexler's it'll list on the page, it'll tell you. So let me pull that up real quick. When you go over here, pull that over real quick because I think this will be easier.
And here's another thing about the class of double dice. A lot of them seem to be slightly subjective. Different attributors seem to attribute the same die variety as a different class. Like some people think there's no such thing as class 7 anymore, but there is, because there's 1941 Ps where they retooled the T in trust. But when class 7 came out, it was meant for the 58 cents that people kept saying, oh, it's over in 7. And
Hey,
then
good morning, Corn Crew.
the original 1970 where they had like the bar 7s and bar Ls.
Yep.
John Wexler at one point thought those were class 7s, but he has since changed them to class 5. So I guess it's always the work in progress.
Yes, logic. Class 3 is a misdemeanor.
That's right.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. So again, Paula put in a link there for the Kaneka Online that talks about the various classes.
And there's another thing. For years, Kaneka and John Wexler only did class 8. And actually, if you send your nickels into the Wexler files, Brian Ribar he doesn't subscribe to class 9. He still says that the class 9s are class 8s. Kaneka now says there's class 9, and I believe the other attributor in Wexler believes in class 9. So that goes back to what I was saying, that there's a little bit of subjectivity in the whole matter of classes of double die and what is what. And you can have more than one type of double die on a coin.
That's correct. Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that you can have multiples.
Yeah. It's very common to get, well, not very common, but it is not uncommon to get class 2 plus 6.
Cool.
Which is distorted and distended.
So on these 1962s that we're looking at, what are going to be some of the most common items that we're going to find?
Class 4, class 2. I think there's a class 5 or 2. I'm not sure if the 62P has that. And that is like the little, it's almost like the 70. It's like a little right above the 2 right there. You'll see like a second part of the 2 coming up. My avatar that I have is actually a 62D DDO number 1.
Gotcha.
And it has that doubling.
Well, cool. Hey, what's up, Jack Gallman? Hope you're doing well, bud. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to this. Thanks for the deviation. I appreciate that. I just want to make sure that as we're going through this, people understand some of the nomenclature we're using. And
I will start showing. There's another one that's braided away pretty good at the 1.
Now, when we talk about a braided, we've talked a little bit about this before. It's basically polished away.
Yeah, you see the bottom of the 1 is kind of polished away.
Yep, they're on the inside, closer to the 9.
Now, like when I search my rolls personally, I'll show you when I come up to it again.
And the reason that we're doing this today, folks, is because I had a couple people. Hey, Killer, how you doing? What's up, Strider? A couple people send me a couple rolls that says, "Hey, can we go through these?" And no worries, Coin Crew. Thanks for coming in, bud. A polish, a braiding and polish can mean two different things.
Yes, it can. I'm just saying they were trying to remove something off the die where the 1 was when I said that.
Which most likely is some sort of
Was
die
a die clash.
clash.
So you can see
right?
between the 1 and the 9 right there.
Or they had to
There's a
do some
remnant.
sort of repair.
Yeah, there's
to the
remnants of a
die.
die clash. And you can see right here that they've already worked on this die to try to get rid of that off of there.
Yeah.
And it's taking some of the thickness in the design away. Yeah, dies are usually polished before they're even used. They're lightly polished. Just to get the grime and dirt, slag that builds up. And I don't know if slag is the right term. I've heard it from slag to gunk to grime. But they will polish a die to get rid of that. Surprised the first couple coins were from the same die pair.
Hey, Chappie with the $5 super chat. Love you too, brother. Thank you so much.
Since. And now me, I don't know how people handle their coins after. Like this roll of pennies is going to go into a copper bag of junk copper because it's not real nice. If it was a really super nice roll, I'd probably keep it as a roll. Now just mark on it that I've searched it.
The 62 roll that I have, it's a really, really nice roll.
Yeah, this was when you said that. I just looked in a box that has like tubed rolls that I get when I buy other rolls.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, this one was sent to me by Gary Huffman, and he wanted to go through this one, kind of talk about some of the things that we look at, see what we find. And this is a very, very nice 62p. It's pretty. There's some coins in here that could easily grade 65, 66.
Another thing, when you're looking at different dates, you look for different things. Hold on. This seems a little thick in the FG for me to go back and really look at it real close. But like if this was a late 60s, early 70s roll, I would be looking right in here or like right out here. That stuff that is still out there to be found, and not a lot of it is not listed. But different dates, the doubling seems to be different. Just like you've heard me and Paula talk that we think that the manufacturing of dies has changed at the mints because all of a sudden certain types of doubled dies are coming out that didn't show up for the better part of 25 years. See, that looks, let me zoom in on that. See, that looks like it's got a little bit of doubling.
Ashes. Right, yeah, there. Go through your mama's weed sense.
But if that is it, that is not really. So you should see it right.
So you see a little something in the corner of the A and the I there.
I see it. Well, what I'm looking at is right here.
Okay.
In the F. And a little bit right here. And then right in that.
Okay, real quick, in chat, the people that are seeing this online, I know if you're looking at it on your phone, it's pretty small, but is anybody seeing, I know there's some people that are really good at doing this. and some people that not so much. But is anybody seeing what's going on? Do we need to get closer to so you guys can see exactly what he's looking at? Um, if you're
I don't
not
think I
able
can
to
get
tell
much
what we're
closer.
looking at, there
That's as
you go.
close as I
Yeah,
can get right there.
that's fine. I just want to make sure people can see because you can see that in that lower portion of the outcropping of the F, you can see that kind
Yeah.
of
That, and you
sliding
can see it
in.
right in the G right there.
Yep.
So I think this is something that would be considered minor. Probably we'll have to see. If there's a bunch of them, this is not in really great shape. And I always say this too. When I attribute stuff, it's a lot easier for me to do it if I got 5 copies to look at.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Um, because you can have stuff that shows up like this would be a great die marker. This die scratches right there, and that especially the heavy ones right there. See, but that's why I went slowly to look at the top of the end, and that see, I'm that could be something, but it's got a bag hit right there too.
So, Paula,
Um,
the reason that I asked him is I just want people to be able to see what he's talking about. When you search the coins, you want to be a farther distance away. You don't want to be zoomed in at 2000 times focal magnification. Um, so yeah, you want to be able to see the full word. You want to be able to see a good portion of the coin. If you can only see half of the one in the date, you're way too close. I wanted him to go in just so people could have an idea of exactly what he's looking for, so they knew kind of what was going on. Because a lot of people don't know what they're searching for. But if you look at the distance in which he's searching, that's a pretty good distance by which to look for. If you don't see at least that much of your coin, you're searching too close. And again, always have a loop handy. The loop is going
yes,
to be your final
absolutely.
decision.
And actually, I'm looking at this with a loop before I throw it in the tube.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do because if you can't see it in a loop, then there's a number of things it could be. We could talk about reflection or refraction of
And
light.
speaking of that, that
So
thickness on the FG was actually a bag hit. It wasn't doubling.
yeah, and so you'd see that easier with a loop than you would with the microscope.
Now
But
here we get into a little bit later die state. And a lot of people would think that's a doubled eyelid, but here's the reason why I say no is you can see it goes with a die scratch that's coming out into the field.
got it.
So that was somebody when they cleaned the die up.
Yeah, the doubled eyelids are something I don't. I mean, I've seen pictures after picture after picture after picture of them, and I just can't ever see them.
Yeah, like this roll right here was obviously a put together roll of people finding good uncirculated or what they say was uncirculated 62s because it's got tons of die pairs in it, lots of singles.
And Paula, I know exactly why you said he doesn't need to get closer. I just wanted to make sure that you understood why I had asked him to. Yeah, Lincoln's been in a knife fight. And again, so the reason that we're doing this is because number one, it was specifically asked for. And I'll be going through a set that
Not to
Gary
mention if we
Huffman.
love doing it.
Yeah, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy looking at it. I like listening to when we go through these. I like listening to you. I like listening to Chuck. I like listening to Paula. I enjoy when people go through these, seeing what they see. But one thing that's important to look at is to be able to identify, what is it about the variety that we're looking for? What is it that
Give me
you
1 second. Let me see if I got a box of stuff here that has 62p double dice in it.
okay. Hey, Paula, can you throw that link in, please? And let me know what time it starts. Does it start at 11 o'clock? Or what time does that start today? And I think there's something like 60 lots left in the St. Jude. They raised $35,000 already in the first 2 days. They've got, like I said, 60 to 80 lots left, somewhere in that
All right,
time frame.
let's see.
So they should be able to get through the remainder of those lots today. Okay, 11 a.m. Central, outstanding. But we only have $15,000 more to raise to get to the $50,000 mark. So come check that out. Finish the last day, support them. The team's done a remarkable job on this. The community has been extremely gracious,
All right,
um,
here's a couple.
to the point to where one of the representatives of St. Jude actually reached out to Ida and was like, "Hey, how can I help? What else can we do to assist further?" So the community's done a wonderful job with St. Jude. Congratulations on what they've done. But go check them out today. They've done. They've still got some pretty cool things up there for sale. So go check that out. Morning, Al. How are you? Good to see you.
All right, here would be an example of a class 4. That would be a doubled eyelid on a 62. Don't see anything else. Sometimes on the class 4s, you'll see the little nubs on the T's or even the top of the L.
Okay, show that one more time.
And you can see the doubled eyelid right here.
Okay. I see I see what looks like the little notch there, but
it raises up. It's almost as high as the whole design.
Yeah. It's hard for me to see that.
Yeah. And then I got a reverse DDR number 1. Hopefully we can see it. It's not the best copy. I must have found this in pocket change. Let me see if I got a better copy in here.
Oh, don't worry about it. Let's just go ahead and go through the 62. We can do some.
Well, I want to show what they're looking for, what we're looking for. Yeah, this one will show it a lot easier.
Oh, I got you. Hey, Roxzilla, what's going on? I hope you're well. Thanks for popping in. Morning, Sleth. Sleth Remo Slayer. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming in. I think I need some more coffee.
There you go. If you look right here on the tops of United, you will see.
Yeah, and you see it really clear on that upper left hand edge of the E and the D. You see what looks like those little lips there on the edge. That's the split serif. That yeah.
I think this one you can see it. You can see thickness on like E pluribus right here.
Yeah, you see that really thick E. That P is extremely thick there. See it in the U.
You can pick it up on the bottom of the O and on the N.
I don't see it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yep. That's really nice. That bottom left-hand side of the N.
Yep. And then you can see it on the bottom of the E. Actually, you can see it on the whole E. See, and turning your coin is another thing.
That's extremely important.
Here, that FG is just fundamentally thicker, and I don't know what causes it. I mean, I guess it's the shifting of the die, and that's such a fine area that it just gets thick.
Yeah, Ashes. I think he's using aren't you using an Amscope?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, right here, the top of you can see the top of the E. There's a nice doubling there.
What version of Amscope are you using, Eric?
I cannot even tell you. There's no model number on it.
Morning,
I should have bought a more expensive one. It was not the cheapest. It was like the second or third up in the trinocular. So I'm using a Trinoc, and I think it's 3.5x to 35x. And then I use an 18 megapixel camera and a specimen light. And the specimen light is an HL150A. And the camera is an MU 1803, but the scope, I don't have a model number.
Morning, Crafty.
I think I do, but I think it's on the bottom of the base. Now this one's not a 62, but I can show you what it like a class 6 looks like. Oh wait, that's the wrong one.
And we're in really close, so.
You look at the 9.
It'd be nice to have all these things just laying around.
Yeah. And
It's
you can
like,
actually see this, like right here in the 1, and a little bit right here in the 9. You can actually see it in the 5. This is actually a really nice class 6. And this stuff, you can find it in pocket change still.
Yep, I see. I see it better in the far right 9 than I did in the other one.
Yes, it usually the thickness is towards the center.
Yeah,
and becomes normal out towards the rim. So you look at Liberty, thickness on the T and the Y. You can see a little bit of the pulling that I was talking about, how the letters are a little bit distorted.
Yeah, so it looks like that T looks more like a 7 than it does a T.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
the back of the B and the back of the E, you can see there's a little bit of curve starting right here.
No worries, Teach. Glad you're here, bud.
The top of the eye.
Yep.
You can really see it good in the eye.
Is that ironic?
But that he found 4 in a row from Chuck? No.
You can see it good in the eye. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So let's get back to this hunt here. I just wanted to try to give people some examples of what we're looking for. Let's see what this one, I think.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I do. I definitely appreciate that. Ew, that one's.
Yeah, like I say, I think this roll was something that was put together.
Don't search coins with a cold, folks. Looks like somebody sneezed on that one. It has stuff growing on it.
I'm about a third done with the roll so far. So
no worries. And he's going through these pretty quick because he knows what he's looking for. He's trying to find something for us.
All right, now here's one. We've seen this die pair in this roll before. If I was searching this, I would know just by looking at this, because of these scratches the way they are, that there wasn't anything on this.
Well, I'm glad you said that because this brings to light something that we've talked about a lot when we've talked about looking at coins. Number one, we don't have to worry about sorting the coins because we're looking at a specific roll of 1962 Philadelphia.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about sorting them. So when we're looking at rolls, this is one reason it's really nice to look at rolls, is that we don't have to figure out, and sort out all of the coins. You don't have to separate P's and D's and S's. You don't have to sort them by year, decade, whatever it is. You just open them up and look at them.
If you are, a lot of people can just get a box and search coins. But if you're really intent on finding coins, variety coins within your change, like you buy a box at the bank, do yourself a favor and search it all by date and sort it by date.
Yeah, and that's something that we've talked about a lot as you go through. So I will look at taking, so even if you're doing a roll, not just necessarily if you're doing through the entire box, but I will sort them out by decade, and then after I get them down to decade, I'll take them by mint marks.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I'll put them in order. So I'll start with the youngest one and then go up to the oldest. And the reason that I do that is because as I'm going through the site, it's easy just to change the last letter or the last number and then choose whether it's PD or S. And then I can have my resource available. But the reason it's good to do the roll is you get to see over and over and over and over and over the same items. So your eye gets accustomed to seeing something. And when something doesn't look the same, your mind's eye sees it. And every once in a while, you'll get that. It's just, oh man, that just doesn't look right.
Yes,
Set it aside.
absolutely.
Set it aside
Uh,
because your mind's eye will pick that up. And
it
even though you
happens
may
to me
not
all
know
the
what you're
time,
seeing, your mind's eye sees that. So set it
especially
aside.
on RPMs. I
Yeah.
will see just a little bit the shape of the mint mark's not right. It's not showing any RPM or anything like that.
So
And then I
Ashes
start
said,
going like
A-
this.
Ashes says the marks or the striations are imperfections on the die.
They are, yeah, they're scratches.
Yeah.
Um, and there are some that they've even reworked, like the hubs that they make the dies out of, like in 1955S, right behind the neck, you have scratches that are in the coin, not standing up. These are they're raised, uh, so you know that they're on the die. They're scratches on the die. Like the letters right here are incuse in the die, and then they're raised on the coin because it squishes the metal and fills that hole up.
Thanks, Al. See,
And
like,
when you do this too, if you're just getting into this, don't throw your coins in the copper bin right away. I
yeah.
would hold on every coin that you buy and look at it a year later again. Because a lot of people, they're like, I'm finding nothing. I can't, there's nothing in these rolls. They've been searched. And a year later, they look at it and they just didn't have the eye for it. It wasn't trained yet. I mean, I can whip through a roll real fast, and I still miss stuff occasionally, but not very often. Uh, my eyes pick up on the little imperfections.
Well, you and I
I
were
mean,
talking, and I think Paula might have been talking about this as well. We were talking about a gentleman who went through a roll of coins that had already been searched by somebody, and they found like 12 out of the 40 coins had something on them that the other
that was
person
me.
had missed.
He didn't miss it. He just didn't search for what I was searching for. That's another thing when people say, well, they're in a plastic tube, they're searched. There's a lot of reasons to put coins in a plastic tube. There was a time that people took them out of bankrolls and put them in a plastic tube uh, for preservation. There was also times that people bought mint bags, mint sewn bags. Well, after you open the mint sewn bags, you get a box of tubes and you fill all the tubes up. Doesn't necessarily mean they're searched. And then there's a lot of people that search for grades. Uh, this tube right here, it was put together, and it definitely doesn't deserve to be searched for grades.
Oh, no, the roll
Uh,
you're looking at, no, it's been
yeah.
beat up a little bit.
Well, it's
Um,
got coins that are from pocket change and stuff like that in it, obviously.
well, but this is going to happen. So
Yeah.
when you're looking at sorting, you may sort just to search, and then when you search them, you may find out that you don't find anything.
That's what I
Perplexed,
think this roll is from.
yeah, perplexed.
Somebody,
This is something that we talk about all the time. Rotate your coins when you're looking at them in a scope. When you're looking at them through a loop, move that coin around. You need the light in able to be able to identify what it is that you're looking for. Hey, what's going on, Coach? Good to see you. Thanks for being in here, bud. I appreciate you. But you need that light, and you may see something. Okay, great. Rotate the coin 90 degrees. Do you still see it? Yes. All right, you
right.
might have something. If you rotate it 45 or 90 degrees and you don't see it, it's probably just the light.
Yeah, let
So,
me see
yeah,
if I can.
rotate your coins. Look at it from a different direction. It's really important that you don't look at it just in one direction and think that you're good to go. You may miss a lot if you don't rotate the coin.
Here's an example of something like that. It's not a 62, but you look, and then like when you turn it, all of a sudden you see the bottom serif is split. So it's an RPM.
Oh, on that D is, yeah, that stands out really nice. So
That's a little
rotate
bit.
that back the other direction. Yep.
Yeah, you can see it on this one, but if you were looking at this one, you wouldn't see it because of the shadow.
Yep. So that's a great example of um, being able to utilize light in the proper fashion, right? The other thing that's
Yep.
really important, and you'll see this, and this is something that I still struggle with, and I say it not because I'm adept at it, I say it because I lack the skill at it. When you're looking at coins on Wexler or copper coins, or you're looking at Kaneka, get familiar with the shadows. Get familiar where they placed the light. So try to identify what the light source is, because when you're looking for that particular thing, it will help you to have the light source in the same general direction. That way, you'll be able to see what they see. If you have the light below the coin and you're looking at something that has a picture with the light above the coin, it's not going to look the same to you. So if you can, try to look at the information in the same direction. Try to look at the with the light in the same direction. If you can, you may not be able to.
Also, another tip is before you start looking, go to the different websites and see what type of doubling is predominant for certain years. Um, on certain years, like doubled eyelids, 1956D, there's a plethora of doubled eyelids.
Make sure you're smashing those likes, folks, please. Okay, it
All
was
right,
back working.
this is something of interest, not a lot of value. This is kind of what I'm talking about. This actually isn't one now that I look at it.
Thickness in the
Actually, it
two.
is right there. You see the little thing there and then the
Yep.
little tip coming up there. That is the two. But there's a little like narf right there also. And those are something for that's on 62. Actually, you see it on 63 on the inside right there of the loops, a little bit of doubling.
So what is so Ginger? All you have to do is do. I think we've got this fixed. I've got to check. And exclamation point! Find me if you're trying to find somebody specific's channel. They should be able just to go in and do that. Me gifted 5 memberships. Outstanding. Who got those? Let's
Me,
see.
welcome.
Coach
Thank you so much for
Jack
sending me those 2 Canadian
Gallman,
half cents.
L Siren, and vote for Pedro. Say that one more time, bud.
I want to thank him. I haven't seen him since that last stream when he says, I'm going to send you something. He
He's
sent
been
me
working
2.
on his truck. He's had to do some major repairs on his truck so he can get back on the road. So he hasn't been playing on YouTube lately.
Yeah, I sure appreciate them. I love uh, early half cents, cents, pennies, whatever you want to call them. There's another one, and most people should know this, where the word cent came from. 1 cent is 1% of a dollar. A lot of people don't realize it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Didn't think about that. What's up, Papa
And,
York?
and
Hey,
most
Steve.
people
No
don't.
worries, bud. I hope everything worked out well. I know you had some things to take care of for your buddy. So hope you're good to go. Good to see you back. I've got I've got another story I'm going to work on. I'll send you the information. Pretty cool. Some have no sense. Okay, so are we talking people or are we talking about coins? And remember, common sense is only common if everybody has it.
Right. Well, that's something I'm going to probably do some shorts eventually, and I'm going to call them Eric's nonsense. Oh, there we go. That's pretty cool.
Lamination error?
Yeah. And that's why sometimes I'll whip through. I'm not a big error collector, but
Yeah, it's a
I'll
nice
whip
little
through the back
lamination.
just to see. And that's what I was doing here. Like I'd said, sometimes I'll see like the same die scratches coming over and over and over again. And I'll just, as soon as I see them, I'll just plop the coin in the bucket.
Yeah,
See if
there are a
that's
lot
on
of
any.
people who like laminations. So the thing with me is,
Hell, does anybody want this one? Want to give it away?
sure, we'll give it away. You guys,
Wait a minute.
we got
Yep. All
40
right.
people in chat, so why don't we start entering stuff in chat, and then I'll pull a name here in a few minutes. Let's blow the chat up for a few moments, okay? And yeah, we'll send off, if you're interested in getting this lamination, we'll send it off to you. I got 41 people in chat. Make sure you're slamming that like, please. Coin Junkie's like, I do. Well, dude, we didn't even need to ask that. We knew that was coming.
I still got a giveaway here for Coin Junkie. He never sends me his address when I ask him.
Coin Junkie be slacking. Strider, if you want to throw in exclamation point, find me. Yeah, absolutely. Throw that link in. Blistering Barnacles has been a member for the 3 months. Send it off. He says, light it off into space. Thanks for being a channel member, bud. I appreciate you.
We should have had Paula in here doing play-by-play.
Paula is preparing for the St. Jude.
That's right. That's right. For the
so that's why she didn't come up today. They've got, like I said, they did 35,000 last weekend. They got about 80 or so lots left. They got a couple good, I thought it was 1616 Pennsylvania Avenue, but that's just me.
1313 Mockingbird Lane, isn't it?
Well, we were joking. I went to the VA the other day and was talking to a buddy of mine, and he asked if I could give him his address, and I said 1616. He's like, "You don't live on Pennsylvania Avenue." I was like, "See, you already know that joke. It's no fun." We got what, 6 or 7 coins left? Hey, Sorcerer Stan. See now, hold on. There's a dude who he has made a huge impact in that St. Jude. Sorcerer Stan is the man. Yeah, you've been awesome, dude. It was cool to see you pick up some of that stuff. Congratulations on many, many good hauls in the St. Jude auction. But Sorcerer Stan is an extremely good and gracious dude. So appreciate you being here, bud. Really, I appreciate
They
you.
had some nice stuff over there. Still some good stuff left.
There are some cool numismatic things left. If you like numismatics, obviously the stacking the silver and gold stuff.
That was just huge. There was a lot for the stacker there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stan's a stud, man. He made a huge impact on that. So very generous across the board. Yeah, I know it's all for the kids, but you good people need to be recognized. So I wanted to make sure I pointed you out and said thank you for all you do. And it has nothing to do with it just being for the kids. Generally within the community, you're very gracious and kind. So just a shout out to you, bud. I appreciate you. So I'm only going to be able to get through a few of these coins because I don't think we'll have tons of time left because we have the premiere train kicking off here in 30 minutes.
We can get through some, or we can do another one. Like I say, I got another roll here too.
Well, I want to go through these because these were sent to me by somebody to look at that.
Okay. I might go through this other roll while you're going through that roll.
Well, you need to pay attention to mine too. So
I will.
Tell me anything.
I can kind of multitask.
I multitask really well as long as I can do it one thing at a time.
Right.
Yeah, and these the ones that Gary sent me, these are really, really nice coins.
Yeah, I should have did the other roll. The other roll, actually, I pulled some out and they looked kind of nice. And then I only pulled the top couple on this roll out. It's like, now this has been sitting on my desk or by my desk for over a year.
A
So
43 sample steel cent. Yeah, that thing's going to go for a chunk of change. I won't be able to do that one, but that's a cool. That is
yeah,
definitely a cool one.
the war set or whatever. That
30th
that was
anniversary sample steel cent MS66.
yeah. And then there's a war nickel also with it.
Yeah,
There's two coins.
those are going to be pretty
That's
awesome.
probably the best numismatic thing in the whole thing,
Oh
in my
yeah,
opinion.
there's going to be a number of people going after that thing for
I
certain.
bought one of the Riel fragments. That was pretty neat.
You got one of the what?
The Riel fragments
Oh,
from
the
the
Real.
Concepcion.
Yeah.
All right, last coin coming up.
All right, we're going to pull this up now, and you'll see that. Whoops, I changed too early on you, dude. You didn't
That's
get to
all
see the
right.
last
There's
one.
nothing on this coin. Get yourself set up.
All right, so looking at this one, you'll see that these are in really nice shape. And I finally figured out the lighting on these. A little bit of mechanical dubbing there on the bottom. Still a little bit too much light. I need to be able to reduce the light just a little bit on this, but at least it's showing up like a nice scent. That down. So what else you got going on today?
I have. I'm just going to work around the house. I didn't schedule anything for today because of
St.
Ida's
Jude.
auction,
Yep.
and I think Chuck might be doing something later tonight. I'm not sure, but I think he's waiting for her too. He had brought up having he's cleaning out his office and stuff, and so he says I got a pile of stuff here that I'm just going to say, hey, I want $5 for this. Who's in? And the first person to speak up gets it.
Nice.
I don't think it's going to be like an auction. I think it's going to be like a grab bag buy stuff thing. And he might not do it. I don't know. He might do that Tuesday. He had just said that he was thinking of doing that this weekend.
For some reason I'm still having issues. I can bring it down.
Now you're using the light right on your scope.
I'm using two lights actually. The light on my scope is on, but it's low. But I think the
And you
light
can turn it off, right?
they get no, I can't once I'm in this mode. Um,
No, don't do it now. For future, we'll set you up different with light. But those lights never work real well.
no, they don't.
I saw this little light at Aldi of all places. I don't know if you have Aldi at in Texas.
Yeah, Paula, no, they're not in flips. This is actually on um just a little silver bar, 1 ounce silver bar thing so that I can move it around.
You're going to want to look at some of these coins with a loop, like coin number 2.
Okay.
Uh, the shadows are causing issue there. See, like right there, you can see real good, but like on the UN of United, the shadows were kind of causing an issue of the top. But that's why I say we can get together one night and do like a little pre-stream, you know, how you get into Streamlabs before that, and then play around with your lighting.
Yeah, the issue that I have with my scope is that it tries to auto adjust as soon as I try to collect.
Well, anyways, getting back to the Aldi light, we went there the other day and they had this little LED grow light, like desktop grow light, that had 2 6-light LED bars on it. And usually, like my light, even though it's unidirectional, it's from 2 sources. They're kind of pointing at each other. But other lights that I use, you have to have 2 lights. And this was nice that it had 2 lights with 1 base.
Yeah,
so that
I
might
think
be an option. And it was literally like $13.
let me try something real fast. Hold on just a sec. Let me go back and I'm going to unplug it. I don't know what's going to happen when I. Oh, it's going to put it on me. Okay.
Coins are very shiny. And that there's another thing. Super duper shiny coins will mess with digital devices. Even the scope I have, the scope I use is probably about $1,500 total for the setup. And if I get a super nice, clean coin that's just blaring with luster, I have got to play with it to get it to show well.
Yeah, and these coins, is that any better? And you can look at this on the
Yeah.
StreamYard side. The StreamYard side will instead you won't have the delay that you have on the YouTube side.
Yeah.
The problem is these are extremely shiny, like extremely shiny.
Yeah, and that, like I say, especially like the endo type scopes, will cause a big problem because it's playing with the cameras, and you got your auto exposure on too.
Say that again.
That could be a problem.
I can't turn off auto exposure on this. I don't have that nice of a scope. And the problem
There you
is,
go. You can turn it around and you can start seeing stuff.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you about the shadows we're talking about.
Oh. Hey, freaking awesome. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. The lighting on this, I still got to work my lighting because the lighting on this is very difficult to use. It's actually quite hard to see anything in this. So I've still got to continue to play with this.
Once you get it, don't move it. Yeah, I'm talking about once you get your light set up, remember it well, because you can bump things, and it happens to me all the time. I've got this huge light box that's about 3 feet, at 2 feet from my scope, and it's like a microscope specimen light.
All right, one more thing, real quick.
And if I bump it, I struggle to get it back in the right spot. And I mean, even if you look at the pictures on copper coins, there are coins on there that I am dissatisfied with the pictures.
Yeah.
But I just can't make them photograph any better because of the glare and stuff like that.
Let's see if this is any better.
Red brown coins actually photograph really good.
How's that? Is that any better?
A little bit, but you still got real heavy shadows by the rim. See, but if you turn it over, the shadows should go away. There. See, now you can see the outside of the rim. So like when you're looking at the U of UN and United, that's one of the primary spots in 62 for double dies. So you would be able to see it better if the coin was upside down.
Okay.
That's another thing that you have to get used to, is finding the sweet spot where you can see like right there, you can see the reflection right at where the serifs would be.
Yeah. And if I bring it back up this way, it disappears.
You see the bottom, you would see the serifs on the bottom of the T
Yep.
instead of the top. So that's where you have to know when to turn the coin.
A lot of scratches on this die.
But if you go look at Bay 3, did I see a big heavy die clash in there? I did. That's why it's got a bunch of scratches on it, most likely, is them trying to polish away that heavy die clash. So there's probably one. No, there's not. I don't see it.
Where is it?
It would be Bay 9. Might even be Bay 8. Yeah, there's a little one at the top of Bay 8, it looks like. But most of it looks to, you can just see the edge of it by the column. Then it heads like north or towards the top of your screen,
Right
like
here.
right there where your finger is. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we're going to do this earlier. There's 43 people in here. Let's go ahead and draw this. This is for that.
For that lamination on a 62
lamination.
feet.
Yep. Well, let's see who's going to pull this. How ironic is that?
What?
It's YouTube me.
YouTube me. All right. I think I got his address.
I think you got his address. Congratulations, me. You won the lamination. Very cool. Yeah, I've got to work on he's like, me wins. Yeah, you can actually put that in there and I'll become a wingnut. Yeah, I've got to work on the lighting on this. I need to figure out some sort of external source so that I can get this kind of dialed in. I'll look through these a little bit better. I'll continue to work with the lighting, see if there's anything that I can find.
And like I say, hit me up later and we can try to play with it. If you've got any external type lights, like desk lamps or something like that.
Yeah, see, and here's a great example of what we're talking about when we talk about turning the coin. So you can see that what looks like doubling under the T, and then when I rotate that, you can see that it disappears. You can see that it's not there anymore. So it's important to rotate your coin, and you can tell that that is obviously something that came from the reflection in the light. So, but yeah, I've got to play with this. This is something that's that is die wear deterioration. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm gonna pick one of those lights up from Aldi just to play with it because it looked so neat. One light with two heads on it, and they moved all over. And then plus they're LED, so you can change from warm to cool to whatever.
Oh, that's
you can
nice.
actually change the light too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on the lighting on this one. I can change the positioning of one of the lights that's here, but the other one just doesn't allow it. I've got it to where at least it's showing the color of the coin properly instead of it bleaching out, turning it into that silvery gray.
Now, what do you just have your open end on the scope?
What do you mean by just the open end?
There is a couple people that use these endoscopes. I think Art Ring is one of them. He puts like black tapes a little washer on the bottom to try to make the light not work because his light won't turn off. And then he uses separate lighting. And he gets pretty good pictures with the endotype scope.
Oh, I see what he's talking about. Yeah, I could try that.
There's a lot of little things you can try to see because I can see your LED lights from the scope when you move your, and that is affecting the image.
Okay.
So there's lots of little things that you can try to mitigate the amount of light that's coming out of those LEDs.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'll have to work on the lighting. So I'll work with you a little bit later today.
Okay.
We'll see if we can't do this because it's right now it's too hard for me to see anything.
Yeah.
So I'm really not able to see anything because I've got too much. And these are really, really shiny coins. Like these coins are extremely nice. And so it's hard to, yeah,
I
the problem
actually
with the
on
white
my
tissue
light,
paper over the lights on the coin scope is that um the camera's where the light is. So if I put something there, then it's not really going to work very well because um well, frankly, it's not going to work. There
yeah,
we
I
go.
use one of those white coin tubes to diffuse my light, but my light's coming from 150-watt halogen.
I got you. Well, we'll continue. I'll continue to work with this, and we'll see what we can come up with, and see if we can't get this taken care of. For some reason, the uh, the thing on this is wonky. I'll have to change this back.
That shows that clash pretty good.
Say that again.
Your little photo of the reverse, you can see the clash in bay 3.
Yeah, I'm trying to flip that around. You can see it better there. That clash is located right that area, just above where the rails and the stairs are. So, but I finally got it. At least I've got it to where the camera is showing the um, coin in the right coloration. That was a really big frustration for me. But now I just got to get this lighting worked on so I can get this lighting to where I can
Where you
actually
can see
utilize it.
everything.
Because
Yeah,
if I'm
with
showing the right color, but I can't search it, then it's not going to do me any good.
and you don't never get rid of the shadows, but you lessen the shadows. You've got real heavy shadows on the outside of your devices.
And it's because of the direction of my lighting.
Yeah.
I need to have the lighting like this instead of straight down. So I'll work on it. I'll get the lighting and stuff situated, resolved, and then we'll be able to go through and change it. Because even when I shine my other light, like if I take this light away, the way whoops, the way that shows, it's still not showing what I want it to show. So it's the light that's causing the issue. So, all right, folks. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. So there's two things that we got going on right now. Obviously, you got St. Jude,
Yeah.
and the
Everybody
Premier
go to
Training.
Ida's auction.
Yep. So you got two things that you got depending upon what you want to go to. You want to go check out the Premier Train. You don't have money. You want to do something like that to where it doesn't tempt you to spend money you don't have. Then go to the Premier Train. Check that out. And if you want to go support the auction and you want to look at things like that, then again, you can go there as well. So the link is there. Do we put the link for the auction in there? The video will automatically send you to the Premier Train because I didn't know when they were running the other piece when I set it up. So, yeah, that's true. Sometimes less is more. Hey, Check Stacker, what's going on, bud? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you stopping by. If somebody can throw in that link to the St. Jude, I think they just started. Matter of fact, that's not going to work. We'll have to figure that out. Yep, that's true. Just show up. You don't have to be there. All right, folks. Well, y'all have a great one. Eric, thank you again for coming up. I appreciate you going through
You
this.
all have a wonderful weekend.
And I'll reach out to you later on. Oh, it starts at 11 Central. Well, I thought she just went live.
She might be doing a pre-auction deal.
She's got a pre-auction thing going on right now. That's what I was sending people to. So if you want to go check that out, you can go check that out. Otherwise, the Premier Train is starting at Will's Treasure here in a few moments. Again, this will go directly to Will's Treasures. So you can just wait for this to end and it'll take you there and you can just hang out there for a little while. All right, folks. Well, again, thank you. Please make sure you smash those likes on your way out. Thanks for coming in. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about what's going to happen during the month of April. The month of April is extremely busy for me. So I'm going to talk about streaming versus two instead of 2 days, just 1 day. But we'll be talking about that a little bit later on. Hope everybody